Hello, welcome to Good Questions, Good Answer. Today we have another interesting question from our audience, and our Venerable Sander helping us to solve this problem. Venerable Sander, good afternoon. How are you over there?
I'm fine, thank you.
I think I call you at the right time, not to disturb your lunch, right?
No, this is an excellent time.
Okay,
I'm very
that's
happy to be able to help you and to be part of this program.
okay. Well, the thing is, many people have been wondering about this question for a while now. That everything that we do in this day, whether it is a karma or not, or is everything we do karma? Maybe you can help us solve this problem together in this program. How about
Right.
that?
Okay. Yeah, this is a question that you get often. I mean, when people start to learn about karma and know that karma is not the name of a perfume or not the name of some bond,
No,
then
it's
they
not.
will start to know that karma is actually quite profound.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to look around themselves and then ask themselves, well, is karma, is everything that's happening to me karma?
Hmm.
And well, it's more complex than that.
It's true. Okay. So, well,
So,
what is karma then? Can you explain a little bit before we go on? Before what? Can you tell us what is the karma?
right. So
I see.
the things we do is actually what we call karma. And the things which happen as a result, we call the ripening of karma. Or in Thai language, vibhakam.
Uh-huh.
And this is the ripening of karma is actually sometimes also called karma, but it's not the same exactly as karma. Karma, it just means doing things.
Mm-hmm. So the karma is an action with intention, whether it's greed,
Right.
delusion, or ignorance that
Or the
arise.
opposites. So
Yeah.
based on positive qualities
Oh, I
like
see.
wisdom, compassion, tolerance,
Mm-hmm.
and generosity. These are
Mm,
very powerful qualities.
I see.
And also, when we act out of these qualities, we create an energy that must have a result. Right.
So, well, in here, then to clarify a little bit, can you tell us what is good or bad karma? So that way it could be more notified. So that way we don't have to make the mistake of doing the bad things.
Right. So not everything that happens to us in life is the result of karma. You know, if you see somebody coming behind you and you're not opening the door for that person, and that person hits his head into the door, well, that's not the result of karma. That's something you just did now.
Mm,
Okay, we it's not a karma from the past or something, which
exactly.
you. I mean, we do have the freedom to make decisions. That's just the only thing I want to say.
Mm,
So we do have the possibility to change things, to make things better. You know, somebody told me that the other day he had killed a mouse because the mouse was investing his kitchen,
mm-hmm,
was invading his kitchen.
mm-hmm.
And then he said, well, that's the karma of that mouse. And then I thought, well, hold on, that is not the law of karma. We cannot just simply say whatever happens to somebody else, that is their bad karma, and then get rid of it. Everything we do is karma. I mean, everything we do with an intention, like you mentioned, but not everything that happens to us is karma. So not every karma is not the same as fate.
Hmm.
So it also can happen that certain decisions we made in the
Mm.
present moment,
Is
they are
that
not karma from the past or something like that. It's just a decision we make. So somebody wrote a letter to
mm,
our abbot and teacher, Khemadhammo, and
okay?
asked him, why am I in Japan?
Mm,
Well, why have I started to work in Japan, and as a result, I'm farther away from the temple in Thailand? And then he said, you went to Japan. You know, it's not sometimes we really think there's a lot behind everything,
mm-hmm.
but in fact we still have the possibility to change things. Sometimes we may just make certain decisions right now.
Mm. So everything we can make our choice depend on the present that's gonna affect us in the future. And
Right.
it could be positive or negative karma depend on us on the present. So what happened to us
Yes.
right now, it could be something from the past, or it's just coincident. Can you explain the difference between these two? How does it work?
You mean between karma from the past and coincidence, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So coincidence is not a word that is commonly used in Buddhism, but we do say that some things are not do not have a cause in the past.
Mm.
So they're simply caused by us in the present. So we have the possibility to change. For example, in the past, you might have been a person who was not very kind to your parents. It doesn't mean you have to be like that in the present moment. You can still change.
Mm.
We can be good and make a choice to be better to our parents, take better care of our parents.
Yes. So if we have a
That
good
is the
example.
choice. So not everything is caused by the past. That will be saying that everything's fixed, and that is actually something the Buddha very much went against. He said that not everything is fixed.
Mm. Well, since not everything is fixed, that means we determine our own fate, right?
Yeah, there's no such thing as a complete fate, complete sort of matrix or something, and you have to do everything according to the plan. It's just not like that.
Mm. Since there are many things about coincidence that you mentioned, can you explain a little bit about the unintentional karma or the coincidence? How does they relate, or what they are? I'm not clear on that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so I don't often use that word coincidence, but I think what you mean to say is that some things just happen not because of choice, but because we make because some things just converge, some things just happen at the same time, and that can happen, of course. For example, we are driving a car, and then suddenly a dog jumps in front of the car, and we did all we could. We were driving very carefully. We were not affected by alcohol. We were not. We had a clear mind. But the dog just simply jumped in front of our car.
Mm.
So we hit the dog, and the dog died. Is that karma?
Mm.
Well, yes and no. You could theoretically, technically, you could call it karma according to the later Buddhist texts. But it is not motivated by intention. We did not have an intention. We did not have a motivation. So, as a result, this karma might have an effect, but it will have only a minor effect. It will only have an effect if every other karma is no longer affecting our lives.
Mm.
So, if there's no other big karma that is ripening, that is showing its result in our life, which is not often. So usually the karma that we need to be concerned about, whether positive or negative, is the ones that are motivated by intention.
Mm.
That's why the Buddha said karma is intention.
Mm.
Intention is karma. So when you do something with intent, that is when karma is created. So in Buddhism was actually quite unique and revolutionary in that karma was not seen as a ritual, not seen as just something we do, but it was seen as something mental on which you act, and it still is. So if we are accidentally hitting a dog, and that is if you want to call it coincidence, but it certainly is unintentional karma. And it's not very important as much as intentional karma.
Yes.
So the best way to think of an unintentional karma is that if we do good in our lives, and our goodness is part of our lives, the good deeds we do on a daily basis, then that unintentional karma will not affect us very much. We do not need to be concerned too much about it.
So then, therefore, what we need to concern our life is the karma that with intention. So therefore,
Right.
coincident things like this rarely come and randomly come, but still, as it may come, the thing that we should confront is how can we handle them. The more we make negative, the more it increase our effect. So in this case, well, the present is what determine our karma. So if we stay, bring our attention, bring our mind, stay with the present, we will have potential to fill our life with positivity. It is right?
Right.
Right?
Yes.
Then in this case, can you give us a example of the negative karma and the positive karma? How would it be related and give example to inspire our life?
Yes. So basically, karma can be done through our thought, our words, and our actions. When we ask ourselves if we are creating good karma or bad karma right now, we have to ask ourselves, how are we thinking? How are we speaking? And how are we doing? What are we doing in our lives? And there is a lot of good things that we can do through these three gates or three ways of doing things. So when we are actually, for example, when we wake up in the morning and then we feel like, oh, it's a great day today, and I'm gonna immediately wake up. That is already a good karma that we are uh, not snoozing back into our bed, but we wake up and then we meditate, and we recite some good text that inspire us to do good, and then because of that we also do something good through our speech. Also, if you have another religion, then you use some wise text that remind you to do good, then also it's a good karma. But um, then we go to see our relatives, our loved ones, and then we say, would you like to join me in meditating this morning? Then that's also a good karma. We use our speech to encourage another person to join us, to join you in meditating. And when you meditate, it's an action of the mind. You're learning to let go, and also to learn to gently focus. This is a good practice, is also a good karma. It's a subtle karma, but it's a karma. And so whether it's action, speech, or mind, we can all do this good karma. And if we are, for example, in our daily lives, these things we can choose all the time. And even in the current situation, in the crisis, we can still do a lot of good. And if we have some negative karma, it can be anything. For example, we are gossiping about the people who we know. Anytime we are talking about somebody who's not in the room, we should think twice before we start talking. That is something, being careful about the karma of speech, which everything's gonna come back to you. So, and the thing about karma is that when you do something once, it is gonna come back to you more than once. That is how karma works. It's multiplying, and it's also when we have already forgotten something, that karma might still come back to us. There's nobody there's no justice in karma. It just happens. So we have to be careful. Even if we have good intention, but if we have made mistakes in the past, it may still come back to us. So it's best if we are just always careful about karma and focus on the positive, develop courage to do good.
We just need to fill our life with the positive karma, so it could be guarantee our life for the happiness in the future and the present. Well,
Exactly.
can you give us a little bit of idea or some way can we instill our life with the positive activity, positive karma?
Yeah. There's many. We can do generosity, giving to the poor, giving to Buddhism, giving to the monks, or giving to your friends and family when they visit you. Instead of being stingy, you are generous and hospitable, and you're showing hospitality. and that is generosity. And there is our moral principles. This beginning of this year, you decided you're not going to smoke anymore. Don't smoke. Even if 10 people, 100 people are telling you to smoke, you don't smoke. This is our principle. When we have good principles like that, then we have also good karma. We create good karma.
I see.
And then when we have time, we meditate, take good care of our mind, and maybe listen to some good teachings like this one on this program. I hope it's also good teaching. Then you can consider that also good karma.
Well, these things are quite easier to do, and it just requires we have to do it consistently. This reminds me that one of the events in Thailand that we normally do, which is when it's rain retreat, we make a commitment to do good deeds for 3 whole months. We can start something like that to change our habit from the negative into positive thing, like quit doing something
Challenge
evil.
yourself.
Yes. So this is one thing that can instill our mind, instill our life with positive karma. So I think this can help you get the general idea of what is karma. Is karma everything? Thank you very much, Venerable Sander. I think your answer has given us a lot of ideas of how can we fill our life with the positive karma, and telling us also what is good and what is bad. And so I hope what we have learned today from our Venerable Sander can give you the idea how to start your life and fill your life with happiness in the doing positive thing. And so we hope to see you again in our next questions. Good questions, good answer. Thank you, Venerable Sander. See you again next time.
Thank you very much, and glad to meet again next episode.
Next time.